Purple people eaters, this one's going to hit different. If you believe this team is on the verge of something big, hit that like button now. Let the world know you're part of the Purple People Eaters family. Something massive just shifted in the landscape of professional football, and it's sending shockwaves through every corner of Minnesota. The front office had their eyes set on a prize, a defensive weapon that could have transformed everything we thought we knew about this upcoming season. But sometimes the chess pieces don't fall where you want them to fall. Sometimes the player you've been tracking, the cornerback who could have been the missing piece to your championship puzzle, slips through your fingers and lands somewhere else entirely. Wednesday hit like a sledgehammer to the soul of every Vikings fan who dared to dream. The player everyone whispered about in the hallways of the Twin Cities, the one whose name rolled off tongues with hope and desperation, made his choice. And it wasn't purple. It wasn't the frozen tundra of Minneapolis calling his name. It was Baltimore. The Ravens swooped in and stole what could have been ours. You know that feeling when you're so close to something you can taste it? When every fiber of your being believes this is the moment everything changes? That's where we were. That's where the organization was. Watching a cornerback who could have redefined our secondary walk away to reunite with his college teammate under different colors. The sting isn't just about losing a player, it's about losing the dream of what could have been. But here's the thing about the Purple People Eaters: we don't stay down. We don't let a missed opportunity define our destiny. Because while one door closed on Wednesday, two others remain wide open. Two names that could still make your heart race. Two possibilities that could still turn this season into something legendary. The war room is buzzing. The phones are ringing. And somewhere in the depths of the Vikings headquarters, decisions are being made that will echo through the season and beyond. The question isn't whether Minnesota will find their cornerback, it's which direction they'll choose to go. Which path will lead them to defensive dominance. Comment below with your prediction. Who do you think will rise from this storm? And make sure you subscribe. The real story is just beginning. Because what happened Wednesday was just the opening chapter. What happens next will determine whether this season becomes a fairy tale or a cautionary tale. The player who got away? His name was Jair Alexander. The cornerback who could have been wearing purple and gold, who could have been stalking receivers across the frozen fields of Minnesota, chose instead to chase a reunion with his Louisville teammate Lamar Jackson in Baltimore. 1 year, $6 million, and a dream deferred for every Vikings fan who believed this was finally their moment. Adam Schefter's tweet hit social media like a thunderbolt. Lamar Jackson and Jair Alexander played together in Louisville, and now they'll do it again in Baltimore. The former Packers cornerback turned down more money to be in Baltimore with his former college teammate. More money. Let that sink in for a moment. Alexander left cash on the table to chase chemistry and championships somewhere else. If this gives you chills, imagine how training camp will feel. Share this video right now with every Purple People Eaters fan you know. This is getting real. The domino effect of Alexander's decision ripples through every defensive coordinator's whiteboard in the league. Every team that thought they had a shot at the elite cornerback market just saw the bar get reset. But Alexander's departure doesn't close the book on Minnesota's cornerback ambitions. It just rewrites the next chapter. Because while the Ravens celebrated their coup, two other names remain in play. Two cornerbacks who could still end up in purple. Two players who could still be the difference between another disappointing season and something truly special. The first name whispered in war rooms across the league is a player whose medical situation has created both opportunity and uncertainty. Asante Samuel Jr. represents everything the Vikings could want in a cornerback when he's healthy. The former Chargers defensive back has been the center of Minnesota rumors since April, with SKOR North reporting connections that had fans' hearts racing before the draft. Samuel Jr.'s story reads like a medical thriller with championship implications. 4 games. That's all he managed last season before a shoulder injury against the Broncos ended his year. But those 4 games, combined with his 2022 and 2023 seasons, tell the story of a cornerback who grades out at 72.6 and 73.9 respectively on Pro Football Focus. Numbers that would fit perfectly alongside Byron Murphy Jr., Isaiah Rodgers, Mickey Blackman, Jeff Okudah, and Dwight McGlothern. The surgery happened in April. Neck surgery that has teams holding their breath, waiting for medical clearance that could come any day now. July is the target month, just 12 days away from answers that could reshape Minnesota's defensive backfield. 50 career games, all with the Chargers. 176 total tackles, 37 passes defended, 6 interceptions. The resume speaks for itself when the body cooperates. But Samuel Jr. isn't sitting by the phone waiting for just any team to call. The New Orleans Saints have been circling, with their media suggesting he'll end up reuniting with defensive coordinator Brandon Staley, who coached him in Los Angeles from 2021 to 2023. The Saints visited with Samuel Jr. in May, and they're waiting for the same medical clearance that has every interested team holding their breath. The second option requires more creativity, more boldness, and potentially more draft capital. Jalen Ramsey sits in Miami, a cornerback whose name alone changes the energy in any room he enters. The Dolphins might be willing to part with him for the right price, and that price likely starts with a third-round draft pick. Ramsey brings something different to the table: veteran leadership, playoff experience, and the kind of shutdown ability that transforms entire defensive schemes. Trading for him wouldn't just be about adding talent, it would be about adding attitude, about bringing in a player who has been to the mountaintop and knows what it takes to get there. The chess match continues behind closed doors. Phone calls between front offices, medical evaluations being scrutinized by team doctors, draft boards being reorganized based on potential trades. Every decision made in the next few weeks will reverberate through the season and beyond. If you felt something today, if your heart is beating faster for this team, then show it. Like, comment, and subscribe. This is our moment. The moment when the Vikings prove they won't let one missed opportunity define their season. When they show that Plan B can be just as devastating as Plan A. The Alexander dream is over, but the cornerback hunt is far from finished. Samuel Jr.'s medical clearance could come any day. Ramsey's trade value fluctuates with every conversation between Miami and interested teams. And somewhere in the Minnesota front office, decisions are being made that will echo through every Sunday this fall. 2 paths remain open. 2 chances for redemption. 2 opportunities to prove that sometimes the player you don't get leads you to the player you were always supposed to have. Because in the end, it's not just about who plays, it's about who believes. Do you?